Rwanda and I'm from South Sudan. Today, I'm here with a bunch of my peers, and we're here to discuss youth and substance abuse, whether punishment or prevention is what should be happening. So, I'm going to pass on to my friend over here to introduce herself and give her thoughts on the topic.
Hi everyone, my name is Davina Muchingiri. I'm from Zimbabwe and I am currently studying law at the University of Kigali. Let me pass on to the next person.
Thank you. My name is Ladukunda Marie Merci. Of course, I'm a Rwandan and I'm a student in Mount Kigali University. I'm doing mass media and communication. Thank you. I'm passing the microphone to me.
Hello everyone. I'm by Elvis and I'm a student at Mount Kigali University. I'm doing procurement and I'm a businessman as well. So as we're here, we're all about on the issues of substance abuse and youth.
Thank you. My name is Wihai Jackson, student at Mount Kigali University. I'm choosing media, mass communication. Yeah, let me pass the mic to the next colleague.
Thank you. My name is Queen Kaluaki. I'm also a student at Mount Kigali University. I'm undertaking mass media and communication as well.
Hi, my name is Naomi Paul. I'm also a student at Mount Kigali University, pursuing mass media and communication. Thank you.
Okay, so guys, our topic today. So, as young people, we look around us and we can see the effects sometimes of substance abuse amongst our peers, our friends. Maybe we even have family members who abuse drugs and everything. So, from your own experiences, whether it's from you or anyone else that you may know, whether it's from you or from anyone that you may know, if you have any experiences, and what do you see as the effects of
Thank you. First of all, substance abuse is a big thing. There are people who are not understanding what substances are. So these substances include alcohol, there are cigarettes, nicotine, drugs in general. So when these substances are used, they tend to affect. Actually, it's a two-sided effect. There are positive effects and the negative effects. It's a positive effect to the people who sell the drugs or the substances. Like for example, when you open up a bar, you're going to deal with drugs. Not these. They are the drugs that are restricted, and they are the ones that are legalized. For example, like alcohol, and there are some spirits that are legalized. The ones that we are allowed or legalized to use. So that's a positive effect. Not only to the businessman or to the owner of the business that is running that business, but also to the society as well, because it brings about environmental development. There comes infrastructure development, because if I'm going to open up a bar, I'm going to look for a strategic location that is good, that is going to be suitable for that business. Therefore, I'm going to look for a good place where to put that bar, and it will be a positive effect to the society and me as well. So I will have to employ people, the waiters, the waitresses, the bar attendants. So that's a positive effect. By the end of the day, you will find that there are people who are going to abuse the substance. There are people who are alcoholic. You understand when I say that? There are people who take drugs or abuse drugs excessively. Like they have no limits. You understand? You find someone is drinking from Monday to Monday, he's abusing the drugs, he's abusing the substance. You find that he has no transport that is going to take him back home. So that's where the substance becomes effective in a negative way. So that was one of the opinion that I put across, but there are so many. So if I'm to go ahead, I'll talk about the taxes. You know, these drugs pay taxes indirectly. So for example, when I'm importing these non-alcoholic wines, they pay tax to the government. It comes back to the other point I said, that it has positive effects and then the negative effects. Yeah, so like it's a big thing. But us, like the youth, what is our impact on the substance abuse? How are we going to use the substances? And how are we going to solve the problems that are going to come across, that are going to arise in the abuse of the substances? Yeah, so I don't know if any one of you can add on. Thanks.
Maybe Davina can give her thoughts on the effects of substance abuse on young people.
Okay, so to lighten up the air and make everyone comfortable, I think we've all heard of the term, I started doing this socially. Like you guys have heard that, right? Especially like I have friends who say, oh, I started smoking socially. Or maybe you went to a party and then they said, you haven't tried a vape. Like you should try it because you're at a social event. So one afternoon at a party, you vape. The following week, you vape again. And then probably after a few days, you stop vaping. Just because you kind of like that high that it gives you. And then next thing, you're using your pocket money and then now you're buying a vape. And then it becomes a weekly thing where every week you need a vape, you need a vape, you need a vape. So I do think that there are these things that we're making sound cool amongst the youth. And because everyone is doing it, we're all doing it. And then it then leads to the whole substance abuse. I don't know if anyone wants to touch on that. Yeah.
Okay, as for me, I would like to add on Elvis's points to the negative sides. The negative effects that the drugs have, but even personally to that person, not necessarily to the society, because you find that the drugs affect your mind, your thinking, the way you perceive things changes because of the way you've been taking the drugs. So one day you just wake up and decide to smoke because of peer pressure, like Divina said, and then you just assume that it won't affect you. It will affect you. It will affect you mentally because you will start seeing things differently. You will start assuming that things are not really above you. I remember in high school when our teachers were telling us, they were telling us that when you smoke, you will start feeling like you're bigger than the teachers, bigger than the authority, you see? So the drugs affect us even mentally. And even the way we socialize starts changing. The way you talk to people, you start being maybe sluggish or maybe start talking in a way that is not good to the people around you. So yeah, I think that's also something that's been affecting the youth.
About what my colleagues have already said, we are actually going far from what caused those things for the youth to go through those drugs. Actually, for me, as I know, like many unemployed youth, they are taking drugs. I don't know why. I don't know. Even you have seen that. So unemployed youth, or some those have family issues. They are those ones who go through those drugs things. So I don't know why they are those who go through drugs. you guys, I don't know, even most of them have already tried drugs. For me, I just tried once. Like, it was really bitter. Like, I tried to drink, but actually it was not good for me. So I thought, why does youth go through it? So they say it's gonna help to reduce those stresses or those mental issues. So, but it increases it. It increases it. So let's talk about why they go through those things, because they have an issue. Why then do they not like use drugs because they are having fun or other things else? So why they have a problem? So they learn through those drugs. I don't know why you have also you have a friends who do does. Yes, so let's talk about it. So
I think it's really interesting what you said, because it's ties together with what Davina had said earlier about how it's social peer pressure and everything. And it's like you'll find that so many people who find themselves addicted to certain substances or just frequently using it don't actually enjoy what they're using, even if they enjoy, it's still a bad thing in the long term. But you'll find like they'll be smoking and you'd ask them, why do you smoke? And they're like, I don't know, like my friends are smoking and we're outside, so we might as well, or why do you drink as much as you do? They're like, there's a shop down the road, it's just there,
Yeah.
So it's like we really need to reevaluate why we do the things that we do as young people, and speak to our friends and ask them, why are you cool with this? Is this like, does it make you happy? What is it exactly that you're getting from this? Yeah.
So most. Should I go? Sorry.
Oh, so actually, what I'm going to add on is about the question that she said. So the reason as to why, in my own perspectives, the reason as to why people take drugs or their substances, we know firstly is because of stress, yeah? So like the reason as to why they take those drugs, they know that when they take those drugs, actually their brain are not like functioning, like they don't function as they usual, yeah? So like maybe the highness, like you're high, you don't know what is happening. So like they feel like when they're in that situation, they feel like they're at peace, like they don't think normally, yeah.
Sorry. So funny enough is I had a conversation with someone this week about the whole how the feeling of drugs goes, because I've never had drugs before and I just sometimes get amused, like, okay, the reason why I stay away is because I'm scared maybe I will get addicted. So I asked them and I was like, how does it feel? And they said it just feels like everything is much better. So when you take it, apparently you get to a really high point, and then immediately after you reach back to like the point of the way a human thinks.
Yeah.
Do you understand? A normal. So it's like a crash, and then you have to take again and again and again and again until it gets to a point where you need it to function. I've been with friends, or I've had people close to me who used to smoke marijuana in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, and they would function normally. They would do everything that we are literally. They would be on this interview, they'll be on this interview talking to us, even talking about the whole drug abuse. So I think I can't really say it's a stress thing, due to the people I've seen taking it, because it doesn't really look like they're stressed. Just looks like they're looking for a better feeling in life. They don't want to function like a normal human being. Yeah, so I don't know. That's my take on the whole reason why they take it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was going to tackle on. I don't think our youth is stressed. Like, it's like there is a video that has been trending on social media. The girl who was saying that the youth is broke, like it is unemployed. So, yes, the big number is unemployed, but it's not the whole youth is unemployed. We have other youth who are doing great things here in the country. But let's take our eyes back and see, after let's take this number of people, of youth who have, let's say, a job to do. They are working. let's see, after being paid for the month, where do they go? They have the other connection of the other people are unemployed. They look for them, like say, I've worked for the whole month and I think I can't enjoy my money alone. So they call the other youth that is not unemployed. And then for that person who is unemployed, we say, okay, since I don't have anything to do, I'm home. Why can't I go enjoy my friend who have been paid? Let's go enjoy the money. And then you find that person who has a job or who have been paid, he wants to utilize the money he got. He wants to feel the moment. He wants to celebrate his money. So he will consume a lot of things. He will drink excessively. All right. So it will push him to take the other drugs I've never tried before. And these youth who are not employed, they go around, so they know. I don't know, but they know those who sell them, right? So you find the other person who has the money, who has invited the other person who is unemployed. The other guy who has no money, he brings the marijuana I've been saying, the cocaine and what, and says, since we are going to celebrate for today for your money, let's do it. Let's maximize. Let's enjoy the day. All right. So now you find there are not only two people; they have to invite like a bunch of people, like many people. So they are going to share the drugs they have brought. They drink excessively. That's why you find people outside here, like youth, are so addicted to drugs because they don't have anything to do, because they have no job. All right. So if I get an opportunity, if I'm unemployed, for example, and I have my friend here works and he earns a lot of money, I can say, yo, can we go to a club because I know you have been paid? Let's go enjoy what. So for me, I would take it as like an opportunity for me to use the opportunity I've got to access that drinking, and also I teach my friend how to take the marijuana and stuff. So I think the cause is because, yes, the youth is unemployed, but behind that kind of unemployment, I'm still asking, how can we occupy these people with something to do, those who are not employed, so that they can maybe shift it. They maybe come something like counseling, or try to do something you are good at. Maybe you are a footballer, or you are a white entertainer. Like, I think the problem is like most youth is not unemployed. That's causing drug abuse. Thank you.
Okay, so there's a point that you said. You gave an example between the unemployed and the employed, yeah? So like that example that you gave, the unemployed asked the employed, like, hey, yo, let's go out and, have fun and drink. I don't think it works that way. Like with this generation that you're in, like an unemployed person cannot just, text an employed person and be like, yo, let's go out. And yet the money that is being used during that enjoyment time, it's for the employed person. I don't think it works that way. No, it doesn't. It's hard. It's hard in this economy. This economy, it doesn't work that way.
The thing is like, if you have been my friend for, let's say, for 5 years, or I don't know, but you are my dad friend, the one I rely on. I think you can't go to club alone. And you leave me alone.
Well, maybe I have other friends, but like you cannot just be like.
No, I'm not saying that I'm relying on you on money because you have money.
Yeah.
But I think because you're my friend, I think anywhere we go, the influence. We have the other influence. So me seeing you in the club, you're alone, and I'm your friend. Like, why didn't you invite me, bro?
No, but I feel like
that?
it's supposed to be the employed person telling the unemployed person.
Actually,
like, don't you feel weird, like telling
the employed person is the one who calls?
Wait, haven't you heard of my boss, or Muzungu? When someone is paying for something, you've heard of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the unemployed and the employed.
It's like an ego thing, actually. That's because me, if I have a job, and my homie doesn't have a job, and okay, I'm exhausted. I'm like, end of the week, I want to sleep, right? my friend who I, even before I got this particular job, we've been going out and everything. They're like, yo, we have like a really good place to go tonight. Da, 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 da. And they hit me up, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? Because before we were broke, but right now we're not. We're not broke. Like right now, I have money, you have money, and it's kind of like to be.
It's the
like,
best friend dynamic.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know,
Like,
it will
it
up my
works.
ego because when you go out, like she said, people like boss man, you
Mhm.
know, you get the drinks, you buy the drinks, you feel good. You're like, I'm taking care of my people. I'm feeling good, you know. So whether you're unemployed or employed, it doesn't really matter so long as you have that influence in your life, you know, because it doesn't come from anywhere. Imagine you're like in a room like this, completely empty. No one is here. You won't even know what the hell a drug is, by the way. You won't know. It has to come from somewhere, you know. So up until this point, we've discussed like the reasons why people get into drugs. Okay, so there's peer pressure, there's stress, there's unemployment, there's all of these things. So I think now we can segue into what it does to the people around us, like the actual genuine effects of it, and what we can do, like for our friends, those who we see going through these things, whether it's us or someone else around us. Because the way that we've been discussing so far, we say they, as if those who are abusing drugs are not in this room, you know. Not that I'm accusing anyone, I'm just saying. So how can we see, or within ourselves, the issue, and amongst our friends the issue, if there is in fact an issue, and how can we address it? Do you get my question? So what do we do about it? How do we address it? And how do you, like, when you see the signs, or what signs should we look for in our loved ones to be like, hey, I think there's a problem here? Yeah. So you guys can go into it.
Actually, you've all said much more about drugs, but people are forgetting the root cause. You know, like, I don't know what's wrong with us youth. We all say that we are unemployed, but when you get a job, you feel like you want to go for, you know, outing outside. We outside. But it's not all about abusing drugs. Who told you outing is abusing drugs? Like, the more you go out, no, it doesn't mean abusing drugs. The society, right? Okay.
Dependent.
Like if I'm to give an example, we have seen so many people going out, but they stay sober and they enjoy themselves, right? So it's what I want to advise the youth. Like, it's not all about having drugs whenever you're going out. You understand? There are so many things that we can go into rather than going for drugs. I don't know if like, personally, I love these big vibing things, vibing places, you know, clubs. You've talked about clubs and bars, whatever. But there are so many places you can go to in order to prevent substance abuse. Do you know that?
The thing is also,
I don't know how many of you swim.
I swim.
You do. How do you feel when you're into the pool?
The pool is nice. If it's hot outside, it's cool.
You get the point.
Yeah.
You're enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine calling like 10 to 8 people. No, like 8 to 10 people. You go for swimming. How is it? How does it feel?
It feels nice. But
Great.
to add on to like what you're saying, the thing is, the issue isn't even the going out, because I can abuse drugs within the safety of my home. By the way, I can have it delivered to my door. I don't have to go outside. The issue is the drug. It's not the going out. It's just that going out is, I guess, the hot point of where you see a lot of the use of it, and be around people who, like, going out clubbing. That's where it's, I guess you could say, cool or considered like a safe space to use drugs. If you're in church and using drugs, obviously people are going to look at you crazy. You can't do it in the supermarket. What is the safest place? That would be out clubbing. But also, you can use it within the safety of your own home, you know? So it's like, once you've taken that, what you've collected from the club, and you brought it to the house, is there ever a time where you're like, you know what? I think we have a problem. Something is there. Yeah.
So if I'm going further to the point, Like there are some people who don't use any of the drugs. Do you know that?
Yes, they are.
And they are youth. So we are on how to address the abuse of the substance, right? So we look for those people. And I think it will impact the society. But then, going back to the point, so that will decline the people who are in the business of the drugs, right? Like their income is going to decline because a big number of people have quit or they are not using it. Huh? So we as the youth, we have to look forward to what is necessary or what is to be done so as to prevent or to reduce the abuse of the substances, right?
Actually, what I have, so the a large number of those youth who drank or use drugs, they are female. Nowadays is a female. Actually, like what I see or what I see on social medias, actually they are female. So, as a girl, so I could see the life of the one who lives somewhere in the abroad, or so I could say, okay, they are having a party. So do you know those Snapchat things? Snapchat thing is gonna rule our life. All the girls want to be in the clubs to see that they're enjoying their money. They work. They really get the time to work there outside. So no, I'm not talking about outside like partying things. Those one who lives abroad actually. So they got how to work, and they enjoy their money how they want. So as a random youth, are we gonna copy the life of someone who is living abroad? Actually, so it's kind of a peer pressure by the help of social media actually. So I could see some of let me take an example. So I could see some Rihanna is crabbing and while she's pregnant actually. And I could say, okay, why not me? Why not me? I'm gonna yes, you want to be like Rihanna, you want to be like those they are encouraging themselves so to be through the social medias. But you can see she's holding a cup, or actually, that's not even a drink, actually. So she went there to support the club or to support the balls, actually. So a party, so she's going to entertain. So okay, Rihanna has joined that things or other famous people. So and you so you're going to say, okay, why let's host a pool party or a house party, and then so that's you are copying. Yeah, you are influencing others. And you are trying to be like the other person. That's you. So actually you should not run through the things we saw on social medias or we see in ahead of social medias. We should be the one to prevent ourselves or to run away for those things. Don't let social medias control you or other things the influencers they are doing. Influence yourself in good things, not in drugs. So that's what I could say that.
So I think what we're debating on now is fear of missing out. There are people who are at every function, and that is okay. Like that's their lifestyle. But the issue is substance abuse. So there are people who we know, no, we're not inviting you this time because last time you performed.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's like a repetitive thing where when they take the alcohol or when they take whatever they take, they misbehave it takes over their whole body. So I think that's what substance abuse actually is. And people, it's like they enjoy doing it or they don't know how to control it at some point.
Yes.
So I think it's now how we can, did you say prevent? Mm-hmm. Yeah, how we can prevent that from actually happening, because we can debate about people going out. If I had a child, I would allow my child to go out because it's exposure, but it's what you're engaging in. Because there are people addicted to swimming. Do you know? Yeah, there are people actually addicted to swimming, and people take cocktails when they're swimming. I think we've seen all the girls, the babes, when they're by the poolside, they have cocktails next to them. So it's more of what are you engaging in when you're outside? She's addicted to cake. Has she told you about her addiction to cake? So she's addicted to that substance. Do you understand? But it's the drug or the substance or what's the harmful nature of it that we have to see. How can we prevent that? How can we stop that from actually happening? Do we make the alcohol expensive? Do we make the vapes expensive? How do we stop that from happening? Because they are still going to go out. Let me tell you that one. They will go.
Okay, so thank you. One thing that we should also know is that sometimes even parents are involved. There are some people I grew up with whom I knew because their father or their mothers, they were abusing drugs. So they too grew up using them. And sometimes even the parents did not even deny them the access to drugs. So it is it is inherited. They grew up seeing people take it, so they take it too. Because they are like, this is the lifestyle I've been seeing ever since I was a kid. So let me just continue with it because it's something that I've grown to be used to. So sometimes also parents take a part in the drugs abuse. So like maybe you're a parent and then your son or your daughter comes back at home drunk and you don't even address the issue. You're like, she's youth. It's her age. Let me just leave her. You know, some parents really, they let go too much of their kids. As for me, I grew up with a strict mother. I was not even allowed to leave the gate. But
You're in an ancestry thing.
so like sometimes it doesn't mean that you hold them back and tell them not to go out. Yes, go out, but limit them. This is going to the parents. Limit them. When she comes back or when he comes back, examine her. You know her more than anyone else. So you will know if she has taken something that is harmful, and you will know if she has taken something that is not good for her. And then the best thing is to advise them, know the cause as to why they are taking those drugs, why they are behaving in that manner. And after you know that, if you're a good parent, if you know you can talk to them and they get out of it, talk to them. If you feel like you can't have that much energy to talk to them, maybe your son or your daughter, they're stubborn, we suggest therapy. We suggest rehabilitation centers. Like there are so many places you can take your son or your daughter so that they can be talked to and they stop that. They can be regulated. Maybe if they're addicted, they can be given in small amounts and then eventually they stop using it. There's a parent, I'm going to give an example. It's not about drugs, but it's a parent. It was a father and his daughter fell in love with a boy. And then when the boy rejected the girl, she attempted suicide. And the father found her. After finding her, he took her to a rehabilitation center and left her there for like a whole year without even visiting. When he came back, the girl was in line. She knew what she wanted with her life. Her performance in school had gotten high. She was okay. So like such things, like the drugs, the problem, sometimes the parents are ignorant. So parents, please pay attention to us the youth. Even though we are youth, we still need you. Because sometimes parents are like, she's reached the age, let me let her go out in the society. There are some parents like who rarely even talk to their kids. It's not a good thing. We should try and socialize with them. Even until they're dead, they're still your daughters. You're allowed to punish them. You're allowed to speak them out of their stupidity. So, yeah. So sometimes parents also need to do something.
That's true. Our parents play a really big role in who we become. And, there's strict parenting that can lead to substance abuse. There's relaxed parenting that can also lead to substance abuse. The thing is, or the main thing we need to focus on is what is the best approach to dealing with it? Is it prevention or is it punishment? So I think as we're coming to the end of our discussion, all of us can give our final points on what we think is the best point. Is it prevention? Do we talk to them early? Do we talk to our people early, to the kids, to our friends, and say, hey, I don't think that's a good thing, yeah? Do we prevent it early? Or do we want to be more on the punishment side, more on the throw them in a rehabilitation center or call the cops or something like that? Because the abuse of certain drugs is very much illegal here in Rwanda. So is it call the cops so that they can be dealt with and punished and then they come back to base level? or do we deal with prevention? So I think we can start from that side. We head this way. Naomi?
So for me,
Sorry, you can continue, but we're going to go on a break in a bit. But you can
oh, okay. So for me, I'd say punish. Punish, punish, punish.
Why are you angry?
So at first, as okay, obviously we know what drugs is, yeah. There's, as you say, there's positive and negative side, but most it's negative. And at first, people go to school, yeah. So like you're taught about drugs, not to take them, and obviously, your parents will tell you not to use these drugs. The country itself, it gives the law that these certain drugs are illegal. So like, and there are consequences. There's a lot of consequences to your health. So for me, I will go with punishment. And in punishment, as I say that, there are different kinds of punishment. The punishment I will give is, like for example, one person uses drugs, yeah? Or let's say my child, I have a child. And she has not been listening to me. Like when I give her advices, she's not listening. Like she's a don't carer and I'm the mother, yeah? I'll give her the punishment. Maybe like take the phone so that she may not be communicating to friends. Like just restrict her from going out. Like, yeah, just put her on a pause. Like deny her some things. Yeah.
People are angry nowadays.
People are not angry.
Okay.
Okay, if I'm to talk about like punishments, there are people who are big-headed, my friend. There are people who can be punished from day one to day last, but they still do the other thing. What would you do? So, according to my own opinion, we should first advise first. We prevent first. You understand? You prevent. There is a saying that used to say that you first advise someone, but when he fails, they usually said force is applied after peace has failed. You talk to someone in a good way, in a good moral lesson. You encourage, you teach, you advise, but then after he fails to maybe obey the rules or regulations that you put across, you have to put punishments or penalties. Like for example, the URA. If we are to take an example, the URA here in Rwanda, they first give you a message: don't drink and do it and drive. So what happens when you drink and then drive?
Crisis.
Of course, you have to face the consequence. But after you have been advised, so we rather go for prevention. First, we prevent. So when it fails, we do the punishment.
The break. We'll get back to you shortly. And then we can hear from everyone else. What is better between punishment or prevention? All right, stay tuned.
What if your child's first step into school was their very first step into the future? At Akons International School, every classroom is a launchpad. Every child uniquely known. Every lesson a spark of discovery. Our world-class facilities, including the guided reading program, don't just build skills, they build confidence. From sports to science, from music to languages, your child is never boxed in. Clean spaces, happy faces, global minds rooted in care. Because at Akons International School, wellness Discipline and joy go hand in hand. We offer Cambridge International program from early years to A levels. Choosing a school isn't just an academic decision. It's a decision about trust, care, and possibility. Imagine more for your child. Choose us today, because at Akons International School, we inspire and empower. Welcome to Akons International School, Kigali.
You're taking some pictures and you're going to be saying before and after.
In Rwanda, Kazakhstan relations.
Yes. So now we're going to be weighing the points whether punishment is better or we're going for prevention. So who wants to go first?
Thank you so much. For me, I haven't decided yet, but I think there's still another point. But I'm on prevention. But I would also want to say, but before we go to prevention, how did it start? How did it start that person to be so addicted? First, before we go to prevention, we have to start from the person who is now addicted. Everything starts on him. So one thing I have to say is self-awareness. First of all, do you really want to quit the drugs? You can say yes. You can say it's still hard. And then you can know if I'm taking the prevention or I'm taking the punishment. So it starts from the talking, you two, a parent and the kid. Start from there. So you first have to know the person how is feeling. Is it for you to work? Do you first need to take that energy? You have to take drugs. Is it how things are? Or it's just because you take drugs because you're with your friends, and when you're not with friends, do you take? It's like, yes, I take or I don't take. So it starts from self-awareness. Do you want to quit? And if you say yes, then you can take the measures. That way, take her to rehab and do other stuff of counseling. So it starts from small. They say the same. My friend said, before you take the punishment, it starts from the talk. You have to talk to a person. So after talking, and you see there is a very good sign that the kid is showing a great sign of quitting the drugs, then that's very good. But now, if you talk to someone who is not maybe willing to quit, then you say, okay, we talked about this, then I'm taking these measures. So we are taking you to another level of maybe punishment. We used to talk, but now you're not getting what I'm saying. So let's take the punishment. Because the first time we were talking, you say that you are going to quit, but you're not quitting. So what do you want me to do as a parent? All right. So let's start from the awareness of a person. From there.
You make it sound so easy.
Easy.
Yeah, you make it sound like it's gonna be like, yo, bro, you need to take it easy, and then
No.
You're making it sound easy.
It's
so
not easy.
Uh-huh.
Actually, You said you talked to someone who take drugs.
I talked to someone who used to.
Who used to?
Mhm.
But now you need to talk to someone who now using it.
How will you have that conversation? Like, look at it this way.
Let me tell you, I think maybe like 80% of the kids who are taking drugs, they cannot give you the reason why they're taking them. They're like, I'm just enjoying. They don't
know why.
They don't know why they're using it. But in one or the other, they want to quit. Talk to them. They have that kind of a feeling. Most of them, some of them.
Let me add a point onto that though. Even if you don't know why you're using it, like you know what it does for you, by the way, because Davina touched on that earlier. It makes you feel good. You'd also spoken about how you forget like the world and you feel good about it. So now when someone is trying to tell you to stop, some people will be like, hey, why though? It makes me feel better. So you need to basically teach them what is wrong about it, first of all. Because most people will feel like, if I'm not harming anyone else, no one is hurt, why should I stop? You know? So you have to introduce, first of all, the disadvantages to that person and the benefits of stopping, you know? Because a lot of the time when you try to show someone, hey, this is not good, they'll be like, but why? Yeah. I'm not drinking while driving.
That's true.
I'm not beating anyone up. I'm just getting a little bit high in my room. I'm going to bed. I'm going for a walk, and I'm cool. But you, as their loved ones, you can see you're fading away. Who you were before is not who you are right now. So how are you going to convince me? Let me say me. I'm abusing like mad, but I'm not hurting anyone. How are you going to convince me? Why should I stop? Like, what exactly do you want from me? What are the benefits of stopping?
Okay,
for me, that's where you come in. Tell me.
That's where the other through that conversation, it's where you talk about the advantages and disadvantages. I'm talking to you as my friend, and I want you to quit things because where you are going, it's not good. The place you're going is not good. So I cannot see you dying. Yes, you're not harming someone, but you yourself, you are dying inside. All right? I don't know, maybe you're abusing drugs because of maybe depression or maybe how you grew up. But if you grew up in a very bad condition somewhere, maybe parents, family conflicts and stuff, is there the reason why you're taking drugs? How can we as a friend help you to quit? That's, I think, through the discussion, talking to that person, somehow it can heal the person.
But again, you make it sound so easy. Like you make it sound like we're just gonna sit here and then we're gonna tell you, oh, don't do drugs, and you're gonna say, okay, tomorrow I won't do it. But then the reality of it is tomorrow he's gonna do it. Or right now, as you're talking to him, he's probably high. So my question is, it doesn't seem like it's a conversational thing that happens overnight. I think it takes patience for someone to help another person stop abusing substances, because it takes time. It takes the love of a parent to nurture their child to stop taking drugs. Because if it's going to be a conversation thing, they're very convincing, those people, hey? They'll tell you, bro, this and this has been happening and you're right. And you will feel good. You've done it. You've helped him. But the reality of it is that evening or that afternoon, he's going back because it makes that person feel good. So I don't think it's a conversation thing. I really don't. I feel like there's more to it than just a mere conversation where you're telling me the advantages and disadvantages. Trust me, that person knows the disadvantages. Have you ever heard of a bad high or a good high? Exactly. They've gone through that. Do you understand? So you telling me all of this, it just seems like you're being lousy. Yeah.
You're being lazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, okay, and then?
Yeah, and then what? Yeah. So I don't know, guys. Like, it's nice to say, but it's not working.
So I think for me, one thing, like, I've seen abusers, the guys or the girls that have been abusing drugs, mostly marijuana in Kenya, because that it's high there. So I tried convincing one day. I tried talking to one out of it. I told him the disadvantages. I told him everything. And then he was like, you know what? I'm going to stop it. The next day when we met, he was high. So it's never that easy. So I think one thing that you can do is maybe try and show them the benefits. Like if they see themselves before and after, they're seeing themselves now. I told him, look at yourself now. Look how you look like and how you look like 2 years ago before you started taking it.
Yeah.
Some lose weight and they become like so skinny because they're taking it and not eating. Maybe they're just using it the wrong way. And then when they start seeing that they are not looking how they used to look,
Transformation.
look at
changes.
their weaknesses. If they are invested more in their looks, tell them how it is making them look bad.
Yeah, it'd be like
If they're invested in their reputation,
Mm.
you're ruining your reputation, my guy.
Yeah.
So here you look at what they're interested in most, what they like doing. Apart from the drugs, what is it else that they like doing? Maybe he's looking for a job. So the question is, will you get your job while you're seated here getting high?
Mm.
No, you will not. Will you achieve your dreams when you are in your room smoking marijuana, getting drunk, getting high? Will you access your dreams? No, you will not. So try and convince them through what they like and what they see as their passion, through their dreams. Talk to them more, get to know what they like, get to know what they want with their lives, and then use it as a route to try and convince them out of the drugs.
She supported my point.
Mm.
Actually, this is what I was saying.
Mm.
So everything starts from talking.
Mm.
This is what I was saying. So you talk the job and stuff, and then after the prevention comes or punishment comes after. But there is a foundation of discussion before there.
Actually, I don't know why people like talks. So if you people are you're going to talk and talk and talk. We need what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because we talk every day.
I have a suggestion.
You get the point.
Yes.
So we have friends, but like all of us have friends, right? And if you don't have friends that like church, you don't have friends that like bars and clubs, you don't have friends that like sports. So there are different fields where we have people. So what field do you choose for that person? Like he's in a bad path or in a wrong path. How are you going to direct him to the right path? That is what we want. Like people are talking about, you talk. We are talking, but try to take him to the gym.
Yeah, but you see,
Try
you have
to-
to convince
yeah.
someone to go to the gym, so you talk.
You
Let's
talk
go
firstly,
to the gym, and
but
that's,
then
you've done
you
it.
act,
Uh-huh.
you work out. You know,
Actions.
like we have seen people
Yeah.
telling people, I love you. But what do they do? You get? So we need the work done. We need to implement what we say. That's the point I'm talking about. Like we have to get a way of implementing what we are saying. I say, my friend, you have to quit this. But then how am I going to help you? I'm like, my guy, there is a club at Kichuchiro, and they do practices of dancing during evening. Would you mind if we go there? Maybe for the first time, he's not going to be convinced. But maybe for the second time, he's going to gain the interest. You find that the other time he was using to spoil himself with whatever that is going to ruin his life, he's going instead to attend the dance classes when he agrees. You get? So we are coming back on the word. Yeah? On the
You
saying.
want to take a drunk man to
to
dance
dance.
classes.
Yeah.
You want to take it. You want
I
him
can
to
even-
pay for.
Yeah, sure.
How many bottles can he get on? Let's say 5K.
Maybe 15.
So
but
you
then
want to convince him that he should pay that 5K for dance class?
for the first time I will pay for
Go
him.
and buy one small bottle
So
of cognac.
as to attract him. So as to attract him.
Mhm.
Like if you need something, there's another thing you have to sacrifice, you know? So if you really love your friend or your person, your relative, there's something you have to put in. You get? That's what I'm talking about. You're not going to just say, Davina, let's do this and this. Put in practice what you can. You put much more energy in the doings, in the deeds, than in the sayings. You understand? So, like, you minimize the sayings and you maximize the doings as you can, as much as you can. I think that is going to help the youth out here.
Okay. Let me add another point on the prevention part of it, because personally, I think prevention really is better than a cure sometimes. The cure is there. The cure is in the law. The cure is in rehabilitation centers. The cure is in, helping your friends out the way that you spoke. The cure is there, right? Cures don't always work, but they're there. But you know what does work? Majority of the time anyways, is prevention. So I was reading about this, how the Ministry of Health here in Rwanda had this program. They were working together with the National Police and another institution, where they went to high schools here in Rwanda and they spoke to high school students. These are kids who are about to leave high school and go to university. The majority of the time where people get drugs it's in uni, because now you have more freedom. There's people coming from the districts. They've left their families. They're coming to stay by themselves over here. So that's where they get the drugs. So prevention will mostly start in the primaries and the high schools, right? So they had this whole program. They go and speak to kids about the kinds of effects that they'll get. There's certain, for example, heroin. I don't know about I haven't heard about heroin use here in Rwanda, but I think, heroin, it's injecting into your veins, gets you really messed up, Heroin, through the use of like heroines and needles that have been used by other people, you can get HIV and AIDS and all of these different things, right? So through using these examples and speaking to young people, they had that program to teach them, hey, this is a really bad way to go. I'm sure hundreds of those students went home and they were like, there's nothing that sounds good about abusing drugs. That's the prevention side of it. And you can continue all the way until uni, because the way that I've seen it, especially majority of the time, if your friend asks you, do you want to go and try this thing? Most of the time, people won't be like, no, that doesn't sound good. Care about your health. Who cares about the health? Like, it's okay, so it's a majority of the time they'll be like, you know what, why not? I'll try it. If I don't like it, fine, I'll stop. So prevention is really a really big part of it. The discussion. Again, there's the question of why. Why do you want to do that? Well, it just sounds cool. And if it's not cool, if you don't enjoy it, you're gonna stop. But yeah, why not? The thing, it always starts with discussions amongst ourselves. Like with the discussion we're having right now. Always sit down with your friends and be like, so what's up with you right now? Check in on your friends. Mental health is a very big part of why people abuse drugs. If you don't have people around you, you have your dealer outside. You just go and hit up your guy and be like, it's time. So it's always sit down, have a discussion, and then always, as he said, implement the things that you say. Once you see your friend is in the depths of addiction, also involve yourself. You don't have to stand to the side and be like, he's destroying himself and you're doing nothing about it. And you claim to love that person. That's not love. It's that's my point.
I go? Okay. So I would go with punishment. And I think the way we are seeing punishment is maybe your dad removing his belt and then beating you up, or something extreme, being taken maybe to the military and then you're beaten up. That's not the best way to act with someone who is abusing these substances. I think the punishment comes more of making that person face themselves. Let's say the videos of you performing, this person performed yesterday when he was drunk. Maybe you seeing that and seeing how awful you are to the people around you, you seeing the consequences of everything that you've done. So I feel like that's the best way to punish someone who's abusing anything of any source. Because if you talk to them, it's nice and all, guys, but like I told you, these people are probably at their highest extreme. So you're not talking to a normal person who's quite sound at that time. You're talking to someone who's under the influence. And we all know by the law, if you do anything with anyone who's under the influence, then you are actually committing a crime, if I'm mistaken. So it's better to at least kind of isolate them in a sense. If I was a parent and my child was taking drugs, I would lock them in the house for a while, take away their phone, remove anything that could, remove anything that could connect the two together, or just let's say influence it, because we know the friends are also influencing. It's rare to see, the friends always deny it, like, oh, auntie, I don't know, but he is definitely the one. So I would do that. I would isolate my son or my daughter and maybe let them face themselves, because there was a time when that person had dreams, had goals, and trust me, they are aware of what they are doing. They are aware that they've kind of gone, let's say, gone off the path that they were supposed to be on. So it's more of the punishment where that person faces themselves, faces the consequences of what's going on and all of that. So I would punish.
But you won't lock them up forever, though. You take their phone away and you'll give it back eventually. So it's not like they have they've cancelled all their activities. They've just suspended it for a little while.
But yeah, if you see, how long does it take for marijuana to get out of your system?
It's
a couple of months, if I'm not wrong.
No, but like for you to actually be sound-minded, I think it's about three days. And then there's also a time that cocaine, there's also a time frame. So there's a time where now you can reason with the person. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's when those talks come in. You understand? And then more isolation. Leave the person, because they're going to go crazy. They're going to want to engage in these substances again. So I feel like the biggest punishment is isolation.
But
isolation.
I'm very sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that in this section of punishment, who are the ones to take the punishment? Are they the parents? Okay. Are they the institutions?
No, the parents.
Okay, for me, on that side of saying, you as a parent putting your son, your daughter on, and you lock her somewhere in the room, I think I have there is a story of one of my friends. She passed away. She used to go out like many times, and then her parents started noticing that maybe this girl, she's using drugs. And then it happened that in their home they started losing some money, like, there's a way how your parents put money somewhere and then money's gone. So they started thinking that this girl, she's into something. So the parent, what they did, they locked the girl in the room. Before 24 hours, the girl committed suicide in the house. All right, and then she left a letter. She was like, I was not using drugs. I was like, I was into my things. All right. So I think when it comes to punishment, who are the ones supposed to give the punishment? Are they the parents or the people who are specialized for those things? So what kind of punishment are you talking about here?
Okay, actually, what I got from punishments, it starts from the close friends you have, the family, the one who's gonna take to manage you, the person who knows you well, the person who's gonna know what you want, what you need, what you think about, and what you really care about. So there are the punishments that, or you say the suicide, there are punishments that they say that's good for her or him, but it's putting him or her in trauma more than he or she can be treated well. Yes. Mm-hmm. So about the punishment, so first of all, the parents, if they choose, the parents should punish him or her. First of all, the parents should understand well what's the issue, what's how they're gonna help him or her. Locking her or him in the room, or actually in the basement or where, it's not gonna help him or her. First of all, you socialize with him or her, and cancel him or her. You are not around. So although you try to convince him, so if you can even lie to them, we also pass through those things. So we don't want you to end it up like some other peoples you can see around. So they are stealing. They're always in the jail because they have raped some girls. They have done and robbing things. So some lavish things you can see. So first of all, feel the feelings that he or she is having. This way you're gonna help him or her to become what he really thinks about for him or her. So the matter of fact, I could think in Rwanda they have a polite way to cancel those persons. First of all, it starts from the family. If the family doesn't have the ability to help him or her, so they hand it over to some those facilitators that have those things. Yeah, they're concerned about it. So and actually the family should have a big part about that. Those family gonna help you, friends of all. First of all, friends and family. Even you guys, do you believe that friends are good than family? The friends, yes, can help you more than the family can dance actually. So that's the point. So first of all, feel him or her. Try to put yourself in his or her shoes. In order, don't come angry. So you guys, like we have told you, so let those things gonna help you. You are losing weight. You are stealing. You are going through a lot of things that's gonna end you ruin your life. So first of all, put yourself in. Yes, to feel how we're gonna help you.
Okay. For me, I'm not going to discuss about that anymore. So the thing here, as for me, I think that you should first prevent and then punish. They work hand in hand. You can't prevent something that you never told them. You can't punish them for something that you never told them about before. So you have to, first of all, create awareness for them. Sit them down, tell them the effects. I think in Rwanda, there's a proverb that says, "Igiti kigororwa kikiri gito." Like a tree is straightened while it's still young. So you can't tell me that you will come and sit down a student in uni and tell them that they should stop using drugs. You can't sit down a student in high school while they are in their adolescence and tell them to stop using drugs, because then they are already under peer pressure. They are already seeing whatever is going around them. So they want to be part of it. So we start when they're still young. Start to the children, to the young ones. Visit schools, visit facilities that there are young people there. Talk to them, tell them the effects, show them. There are some documentaries that show the effects. You can show them those documentaries. In short, okay, create fear. Let's put it that way, because creating awareness, it's literally creating fear within them. True. So they fear the drugs. So that once they grow up, they will know that this is bad. I know some of them use them while they know that it is bad, but they still use them. Once you see that, it is when you will punish. Because that person knows the effects of the drugs. He knows what it can do to him or her. He knows what it's doing to him or her. And they're still using it regardless. So that's when punishment comes in. Punishment is in different ways. It doesn't have to be brutal. You don't have to really lock them away to punish them. Some people think that rehabilitation is punishment. Do you know that? Yeah. Because they're like, I'm going away from my friends, yo. I want to be seeing this. That is punishment. You will be punishing them mentally. And that is what we need. You don't really need to beat them up. Because like in Kenya, there are some parents, when they find that you're abusing stuff, they will take you to the chief's office, not even anywhere else. It is the government involved. They take you to the chief's office and they request that you be beaten. You are beaten to pulp. And I know some students who are beaten that way, and after that, actually, they went to drink. They're like, yo, those people traumatized me. they go back. So which means brutality doesn't really work always. So just be soft on them, because some of them are not using them because they're stubborn. Some of them are using them because they have an issue. They have an issue mentally. They have some own problem, their own problems. The ones that they grew up with, or the ones that they're seeing. So sometimes you have to be soft on them. Punish them in a way that they will hate you, yes, but in the end they will thank you for that punishment. There are so many rehabilitation centers, and if there are not, I kindly request the government to create and establish more rehabilitation centers. Those places actually work. They actually work. If there are no rehabilitation centers, the ones that are taking drugs in the name of, oh, we are stressed, oh, we have trauma, oh, I went through a lot. Yo, visit a therapist.
Yeah, but therapy is not cheap.
It is not cheap, yes, but there are some people who act as our therapists in real life that you don't really have to pay. Do you know that your pastor is a therapist? Honestly,
Your pastor goes to your people.
No, there are some people in the church that are usually for that specific purpose. You can talk to them for anything.
Confess.
You don't even really have to look for someone that knows you. You can look for someone that is completely stranger, a complete stranger. Talk to them. Maybe you think that they are old enough to understand. Look for them. Those old people that are out there, they have been through many things more than you, so they know better. Seek them out. Share with them your stress. They won't judge you because they know it happens.
That's true.
So before you get yourself into drugs, first of all, know what can I do to prevent my stress. If your reason to getting into drugs is stress or trauma, so for me it is prevention, then punishment.
Okay, thank you. I think we're now heading to the end of our session. I think Naomi wanted to add something. As we wind up, we are winding. So everyone gives their final points, I believe 30 seconds or less, and we wrap it up. So you give your point, you say prevention or punishment, and we close.
So my point is punishment, yeah. Okay. Yes, there's prevention. Okay, yes, there's prevention, as she said. Maybe some people may be taken to rehabilitation, and when they're taken, okay, yes, they might be. When they are back home, they'll be like, oh, I was treated, they'll be like, they've done something to me, but then like they'll be bored and go back to it. Then again, they'll be taken, the same thing happens, they go back to it, they'll be like, oh, I've missed it, let me just try once, just kidogo. But they go back to it. So I feel like punishment is the last, it's the main thing that has to be done. And like, as she said, that she used the example of being in Kenya. Actually, I'm from there, yes, and it's true. But like in punishments, there are various punishments. As my colleague said, isolation. I highly go with that. Isolation is better than beating up a child. That's even worse. So yeah, I go with punishment.
There's a line, my friend.
This life has been easy from ever since. Actually, as we are winding up, I want to say, you see, as per now, this generation has lost the culture, and that has risen so many problems. People are not having talents anymore. You get, this Gen Z of today has
we have started Gen Z.
Yeah, when you don't have where you belong, that's what brings problems, chaos. You find yourself, you're alone. But just take a look, maybe you're basketball, you're a footballer. For example, I'm saying what we should engage ourselves in too, so as to prevent the other chaos. We should engage in public activities. Like, for example, here in Rwanda, there is this so-called umuganda that is done.
So-called.
That is done
It's
every
called
end of the month.
It's called.
There are so many things that we can engage in so as to prevent the other problems of drug abuse and substances. So what I can say, like the government, the people who are concerned, the people who are really able to help this youth that is already abusing the drugs, they should put some activities that make the people caught up. Like, they don't misuse their time, their free times, Yeah. The things that can make people busy, when you're busy, you don't think about like other things that are minor. You always like keeping focused on something. Maybe for example, there is a program in the evening. You like all day you're thinking about that program. It's all about that. It's all I want all of us, like the youth in general, to do. Like, we get things to involve in that are helpful to the society and to us in general.
So,
Thank
okay,
you.
quick fire, guys. Punish, prevent.
It's
Punish.
I go with both.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Prevention.
Okay. You're still thinking.
Prevention, actually.
Prevention. Okay.
I go with punishment.
Yeah.
Punishment.
Uh-huh. No. No jokes. Finally, I think prevention is where we need to start. And then punishment is actually part of prevention. When you have that fear of something catching you on the other end to you pull yourself back. So I think we've come to the end of our discussion. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here today and joining us. And it was really, really fun. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. Bye, guys.